James Gunn's vision for Superman, as pointed to by his source of inspiration in Godzilla -1, is very different from that of Zack Snyder. Welcome to Stats In. If you're just joining us, please subscribe and don't forget to turn on notifications bell for more video. James Gunn had a lot to say about what the key inspirations were for his Superman film. Gunn's Superman is already being considered to be portraying a new light on the fan-favorite Man of Steel. Audiences are already happy to see Superman in a less serious light, believing that he could finally become the symbol of hope that he is meant to be. James Gunn's Superman has a lot riding on it. It's the opening to the second chance that WB has taken with the DC IP. It's a bid to launch a cinematic universe that can mint money like the initial phases of the MCU. While there are a slew of fans who believe WB simply snubbed Snyder and that the director could have done a lot if there was some creative freedom for him, Gunn's inspiration seems to be pointing toward a wholly new direction. In an interview with the Japanese outlet Cinema Today, Gunn revealed that one of the key inspirations for the Superman film he was making was Godzilla -1, a Japanese production distinct from WB's MonsterVerse, which received a lot of appreciation for balancing its kaiju plot with the human drama of the film. However, under all that mythic and archetypical storytelling, James Gunn wanted the film to be about human beings first. For this, the director took some cues from another film about an iconic character, whose film managed to balance the mythic and mundane to an amazing degree. Speaking with Cinema Today, he said, "My goal is to make a film that depicts Godzilla like Godzilla -1, but also has a great human drama. Superman and the flying dog, Krypto, also appear in this film, but at its core is a human story. The relationship between Clark Kent, Lois Lane, and the villain, Lex Luthor, is at the core of the work." James Gunn's focus on Clark Kent in his film is perhaps to show what makes him Superman. It has long been argued on what makes Superman a symbol of hope, with many agreeing that it largely comes down to one thing: how he was raised on a Kansas farm with loving parents, who taught him right from wrong, good from bad, and trusted him to make a better world, not because he was an alien with the powers of a god, but because he was a good man. Then, there is Clark Kent, the farm boy from Kansas who just wants to make a better world, with or without special powers. This is the character that's making his appearance in James Gunn's Superman. When Kal-El is Superman, you get a brooding alien god who is trying to find his place in the world. When Clark Kent is Superman, you get a man who can do extraordinary things, deciding to fight for truth, justice, and a better tomorrow. James Gunn is heavily entrenched in the latter interpretation, which shines through brilliantly in the footage that has been shared so far. Superman is not a single entity. When we isolate him, we can find an amalgamation of a few distinct identities. There is Kal-El, the alien among humans, who has a tough time relating to what human beings go through and how they look at him. This was at the forefront of Zack Snyder's version of the character, who was very aware of his distinct identity from human beings. James Gunn's Superman reboot may be falling into MCU's trap, rushing world-building before grounding its hero. DC fans aren't loving it. Welcome to Stats In. If you're just joining us, please subscribe and don't forget to turn on notifications bell for more video. James Gunn's Superman reboot might be flying a little too close to the MCU sun. While fans are hyped to see Clark Kent back in action, some are already side-eyeing what feels like a classic Marvel misstep, overstuffing the universe before the foundation is even solid. With projects like Creature Commandos and Supergirl already lined up, it's giving a major Phase 4 vibe. Toss in confusing canon choices, and things feel messy. If Gunn wants DC to soar, he'll need to avoid Marvel's biggest flaw, forgetting that less sometimes really is more. James Gunn's Superman may be soaring toward release, but behind the scenes, the road's been anything but smooth. Despite the runtime reveal, insiders say the real story is the slight course correction that quietly reshaped DC Studios' flagship reboot, via World of Friel. James Gunn's Superman reboot might be flying a little too close to the MCU sun. While fans are hyped to see Clark Kent back in action, some are already side-eyeing what feels like a classic Marvel misstep, overstuffing the universe before the foundation is even solid. With projects like Creature Commandos and Supergirl already lined up, it's giving a major Phase 4 vibe. Toss in confusing canon choices, and things feel messy. If Gunn wants DC to soar, he'll need to avoid Marvel's biggest flaw, forgetting that less sometimes really is more. Then came the shakeups. One editor was quietly removed mid-process, prompting a restructuring of the film's narrative flow. Scenes were shuffled. New bits were added during reshoots. The goal was to sharpen the story and ground the tone. Even the music wasn't safe. A second composer joined the team late in the game, suggesting that the film's sonic identity may have shifted just weeks ago. It's all part of that broader tonal pivot insiders are calling a slight course correction. Early test screenings reportedly triggered alarms. The original cut leaned into humor, something that felt a little too MCU for die-hard DC fans. Warner Brothers execs, including CEO David Zaslav, weren't thrilled. In response, several comedic beats were trimmed, tightening both the tone and runtime. Peacemaker vs. Batman, James Gunn's ambitious dream for John Cena in DCU related. Peacemaker. James Gunn's Superman might be the DCU reset fans have been waiting for. Early buzz says it's not just decent, it's actually good. Despite last-minute pickups in Atlanta and a second composer, David Fleming, joining John Murphy, the film hasn't hit reshoot panic mode. Just polish. Both composers still have music in the final cut. Roughly 25 minutes of footage were cut from earlier versions, giving the final film a leaner feel. The trimming reflects a studio laser-focused on delivering a clean, confident launch for the rebooted DC universe. The final test screening is locked in for this week. And while it's too early to tell if these 11th-hour tweaks will pay off, there's reportedly a fresh wave of optimism within the studio. The film is in the can, tightened, tuned, and ready to fly. Whether Superman avoids the MCU-like pitfalls it flirted with remains to be seen. But this time, DC seems determined not to miss the mark. The full movie's done and dusted 5 weeks before release, a rare move that screams studio confidence, according to THR's Heat Vision. Even tweets from the test screening leaks back it up. One from filmmaker Joe Russo called it super good. Looking at Gunn's superhero track record, Guardians, Peacemaker, The Suicide Squad, this shouldn't be shocking. The guys never missed. And the vibes already. James Gunn's Superman might be the DCU reset fans have been waiting for. Early buzz says it's not just decent, it's actually good. Despite last-minute pickups in Atlanta and a second composer, David Fleming, joining John Murphy, the film hasn't hit reshoot panic mode. Just polish. Both composers still have music in the final cut. James Gunn wants John Cena's Peacemaker to fight Batman in the DCU, but fans doubt the antihero's chances against the Dark Knight. Welcome to Stats In. If you're just joining us, please subscribe and don't forget to turn on notifications bell for more video. James Gunn has come a long way since just being a mastermind visionary filmmaker, considering how he will be officially launching his revamped version of the DC Universe soon as its co-CEO with the upcoming Superman. But that is to say, the Brainbox isn't eyeing limits, especially when it comes to his vision for John Cena's Peacemaker. AD. John Cena has been pulling off quite a few unprecedented moves as of late. Be it his unexpected gig at WWE of turning into a heel after his longtime run as a babyface or the out-of-this-world roles that he somehow seems to score, the actor and professional wrestler hasn't been hesitating lately to leave his fans perplexed by his choices and opinions. But the latest wish that has reportedly been expressed for him has ostensibly taken a different turn, as it appears to be a bit too much of an impossible dream to come true, even for fans. This is because DCU co-CEO James Gunn has candidly put forward his vision of having him fight with Batman at some point in his revamped version of the Superverse. Of course, Cena's character is a major and important one in the DC lore,